advice on here, but for all you young gentlemen thinking about getting married, you can spend the rest of your life with a wife who gives you socks for Christmas, or you can spend the rest of your life with a wife that gives you a welder for Christmas. Choose wisely. cracks together. Pretty pumped about it. Just in case anybody else does this, just a couple thoughts. The instruction's a little dark, like the printing on it, so it's a little difficult to distinguish where, like, what flanges go on what side of what. There's enough hints in the instruction you can kind of figure it out, but just pay attention to that. The caps. So when I woke up this morning, it was 1 degree out. This thing was sitting outside. I installed these caps with like a dead blow, like I would normally do when it was 60 out, and shattered both caps. That was my fault, not necessarily Eastwood's. Plastic and cold don't mix. Don't do that. Hardware. I believe I was missing like 1 8mm bolt and some nuts. I could have just lost them. I'm hesitant to blame that on Eastwood, but my gut here is like a couple pieces of hardware were missing. You still could have put it together, just like one of these casters would have missed 1 bolt. It was fine. Outside of those few items, thing went together pretty smooth, and I've got no complaints. Pretty sweet. And for the welder. All right, we have the instructions. It's like a much better print than the cart, which is to be expected. It's probably one of their flagship items versus the accessory. The thumb's still having a hard time gripping anything with this thumb. Hey, it's not stupid if it works. Here's the main attraction, Eastwood Elite MP200i multi-process welder with some limitations. It can do 3.5 different processes. It can do 3.5 different things. It can stick weld, it can MIG weld, it can TIG weld, and you can set it up with a spool gun. So all those things, it's a pretty potent little package. Like I said, there are limitations. It's small. You can think of it as a light duty Swiss Army knife. It can do a lot of different things. Not as great as a singular tool can do, but enough for me. So look at this thing. It's pretty slick. This thing looks like a spaceship. Came with quite a few accessories. So you get a positive, negative plug. I'm assuming for stick and MIG. So we got the spool gun jack. Potentiometers are very nice and crisp. It's got a digital readout. A stick TIG setting, spool gun setting, spot timer, which is probably sweet for like sheet metal work. And I really like the amperage, digital readout. So yeah, this thing's pretty cool. Go over here. Got the wire feeder set up, and I don't know a ton about MIG welding, but I do know that that's where your wire goes. Came with a little tiny, like 2-pound roll of wire. I don't know if you can. Doesn't look like you can fit one of the big rolls in here, but who knows? Yeah, this is your wire feed. You get your drive, your idler. I can't tell you a ton about this. I know that this is quite maintenance intensive relative to stick welding, so I know I've seen guys work on these things all the time. It's also got a cool little gas quick connect, which I think is kind of neat. Never seen that before. And yeah, so that's your wire feeder side. So you got your gas hookup, your power. This is a dual voltage machine, actually dual frequency, 50, 60 hertz and 120, 230 volts. So that is really sweet. And I think that's what makes it the Elite or the I version relative to the old version, which I don't think was dual voltage. So
You know, that can be a real handy thing depending on where you're welding. This thing came with a whole bunch of accessories. So we have stick welding. It's shielded metal arc welding, and commonly known as stick welding. And here's a stinger for that, and it is pretty light duty. Yeah, I don't know. Always felt that getting a real nice stinger is worth the money. We have 5 rods of 60-13. I don't know if I've ever even seen 60-13 before. 60-10, 60-11 for sure. But these things, you know, I mean, 5 more rods than I had, I guess, but could use a little bake in the oven. I'm not even sure if that would help them. And here's your MIG setup. So, or wire feeder, if you will. Metal inert gas, I think, is the actual name of this process. And yeah, so you have your plug. That is communication port for the machine. It was labeled spool gun, so I don't know. I don't really know about that, so I'm not going to comment on it. And your gas line for your MIG welder. And here we have your TIG torch. It's a thumb control. There is no provision for a foot pedal for TIG welding, which is a real bummer. So here's a foot pedal for a Miller TIG machine, and there's no provision to plug this into that. But again, I mean, a lot of guys have learned on thumb control, so hopefully I can make that work. So that's about it for unboxing here. I kind of wish there was hold downs on this. I haven't actually looked into that, but I suppose you might be able to do something with this bracket here, or maybe there's clips. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, but it kind of just floats on here, which is, you know, got a little kiddo running around, knock that thing over. A lot of storage on this thing. I think down low, I'll eventually fill with a small plasma cutter. But at that point, you're gonna be hanging. But it's got nice hangers for all your wire. And for the power, this thing needs 50 amps of 230. So I picked up this all-in-one kind of. I think it's an RV plug, NEMA 1450R, and that should do it for me. My heater's 30 amps, so I have to run another line for this. So yeah, I think you're gonna see a lot more of this rig. I'll likely do a video pretty soon on setting it up and commissioning it. So anyway, super pumped. On to the next. So these it's compounding pliers. I don't know. These were just like no-name brand junk pliers. I bought a pair of these some years ago, and I just can't live without them. And again, they were just junk, Amazon, China crap. But I want some for the house, and here we go. I mean, it was like $20. They're pretty cheap. United Power Tools. Yeah, that's just some random company I found online. I kept tripping over my circular saw, and I use this quite a bit for like blocking and stuff, so I just want to put this on the wall. So that's that. Cool. Looks like it'll work. That is Murphy's wood cleaner for my hardwood floors. Totally unrelated to this channel. Come on, man. Ugh. This is what I've been looking forward to. eBay, $42.20 for these hammerheads. Wasn't exactly a deal, but there's a ball and peen, a shop sledge, and larger shop sludge. Their heads. I need some hammers. I didn't want to go buy junk, so I found these. They're made in the U.S., which is cool. Well, I said they were made in the U.S. The ball peen for sure. It's Vlchek. Vlchek, I guess, made in the USA. Nice little, yeah, I mean, never heard of them before, but that doesn't mean much because I'm not like a hammer connoisseur by any means. But for all the Chinese junk that I have, stuff that I know I'm going to keep for my entire life, I, where I can, buy used or new if I can afford it. But yeah, so having some hammers from the shop would be great. I gotta source some handles, which actually probably be pretty fun. I think I got like a draw knife somewhere, draw knife that I can maybe get some cool wood and make a handle for. Never made a handle before. See how that goes. Maybe I'll just buy some. And last but not least, Stupid Simple Tools. I had them stapled up there because I've had these for a minute. And, all right. So, November 14th, 25, I emailed Jimmy from Stupid Simple Tools about a little situation we covered on that episode of Junk I Bought While I was up to sea. So 30-second highlight reel of this saga was I purchased these from Stupid Simple Tools, but via Amazon. I'd never done that before. I always gone direct to Stupid Simple Tools. I think I updated my card and there's some issue with Apple Pay that particular day and hadn't sorted it out. So I bought these on Amazon. And Amazon sent them and they arrived and a whole bunch of these pins were broken. Either broken or bent or unusable. And I guess I emailed the company, Stupid Simple Tools, and I got Jimmy on November 14th of 2025. He got right back to me, explained what happened. Likely Amazon reshipped a return pair. He's like, I've never seen that before. I apologize, and we'll get you some pins ASAP. And, a couple days later, these showed up in the mail. They were the exact pins that I referenced, which is kind of cool. They took the time to pick them out. And now I've got a whole set. So the question at the time that I was musing about was, how was Stupid Simple Tools product support? And I can tell you, it's great. I mean, they had these things here immediately. They didn't make me dork around with Amazon's returns. They just sent them out, and I'm super pumped about that. So, Jimmy, my man, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm going to swap these out.
Well, just a little look ahead at the channel. I've been working on the 1966 John Deere 110 round fender rebuild, and so I'm editing the next episode of that series right now. Pretty cool. Yeah, the rebuild parts are in for the non-rebuildable hydraulic pump for that John Deere zero turn, so we're going to give that the old college try, and basically whatever else seems like a good idea at the time. So yeah, like always, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you want to follow along with whatever I'm up to in the old garage, and until next time, have a great day.